Hi everyone, Elora from the Shrinking Violet here, coming to you today from a very sunny and very hot Los Angeles. Today I'm going to be doing a tummy tuck Q&A video for you all. As most of you know, over the past couple of years I have lost 55 kilos or 125 pounds, which left me with a whole lot of excess skin. So 2 weeks ago I went under the knife over here in LA to remove 2.5 kilos of excess skin around my stomach for a tummy tuck. Obviously I've documented a lot of this over on my Facebook page, The Shrinking Violet. The link will be below if you do want to head over there and take a look, but I thought I would answer a few questions on video for you since I have had quite a few. If you do see me looking down, it's because I've got my questions sitting here so I know what you all asked. So we may as well start at the beginning. I had a lot of questions surrounding how did I know when I was ready and how did I know I was going to have loose skin and stuff like that. So I knew I was ready when I was within 5 kilos of my goal. So you don't want to go under the knife to get a tummy tuck done before you are close enough to your goal and before you finish losing weight. I've pretty much finished losing weight. I just had a couple of extra kilos that I wanted to get rid of and was happy where I was. Just really wanted to get rid of the excess skin. Obviously the skin was causing me a lot of medical problems, which is my main motivation behind getting rid of it. But yeah, you don't want to be too far away from your goal because you know you could undo the excellent work of the tummy tuck once that does happen, because obviously the tighter it is, the better it's going to be for you results wise. So that's kind of when I knew, when I was close enough to my goal weight, that it wouldn't affect, like a couple of kilos wouldn't affect the results of the tummy tuck. The other question was, when did I realise that I had loose skin? So I kind of always knew that I was going to get it. I have really soft skin that is just super stretchy and I knew wouldn't bounce back, which was difficult. I've had it all my life. I've had really soft skin all my life. I mean, you can see my under my arms, it's just really thin and kind of pliable almost. Yeah, so I kind of figured that I would have it. Also, when you're losing as much weight as I have, excess skin is bound to happen. Most people will have a bit of excess skin, you know, if you're losing 40 plus kilos, but it honestly depends on the person. I did everything that I could to make sure that the loose skin wasn't going to happen. I lifted weights from day one. I lost the weight over a good amount of time. I exfoliated, I did scrubs, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, unfortunately it's one of those things that depends on the person and it depends on your skin. So I was obviously unlucky and I have loose skin everywhere. I've got it, I obviously had it on my tummy, I've got it on my back, which is why you can kind of see little rolls in my new transformation picture on my sides, because that's actually loose skin from my back that's sunk forward. I've also got it on my inner thighs, obviously under my arms as I've just showed you, but I've also got it where my armpits are, which is probably the part of my skin that I hate the most. So I will talk about that a little bit further on in the video with planned upcoming surgeries. The next question is surrounding the drains that I have. So I've posted a lot about, you know, getting drains removed and waiting to get the second one removed. I've still got one in at the moment. Basically, they remove the excess fluid, so it's just kind of fluid that builds up under the dead space under the skin as your skin starts to bond back to your abdomen. So yeah, it happens with everyone. There's just a little bit of fluid that stays in there. Your body can absorb a certain amount of it, but just because there's so much excess, I have these drains in to get rid of it. A lot of people have them. Some people have 2 drains, some people have 4 drains, some people have 1, and some people have no drains. There are surgeons that do surgery without drains. And yeah, so I got rid of one of them. Basically, my body was draining sort of 80 cc's of fluid a day. at the beginning, and then it got right down, so they removed one of them, and now one drain is just draining for the both of them, which is why it's still in there. Once it's under 30 cc's, we can remove it. It's sort of sitting around the 30 mark at the moment, so Dr. Begovic is going to remove it hopefully tomorrow, because I have been 2 weeks without a shower because I can't shower with the drains in, and hopefully it comes out tomorrow because I'm hanging out for a shower. But yeah, so as soon as it's sort of just under the 30 cc mark, she can remove it. And yeah, they sort of, it varies, it just depends how long they stay in per how much you're draining. So some people, I mean most people get the first one out after a week, and then the other one sort of follows that, but it's mostly around that 2 week mark. Sorry. So, how long is the incision? I had what's called an extended abdominoplasty, which is where basically the scar goes right around to the hips on the side. I have posted pictures over on the Shrinking Violet. I had that because I had so much excess skin around my hips and stuff like that. It prevented those dog ears from happening, which is basically where they take the incision and it kind of stops here, and you have excess skin, so it kind of, when it's healing, it almost like just sags down a little bit over top of the incision. If you Google it, there's heaps of images. But that's one of the reasons I had, you know, a 7-hour surgery to get that. And yeah, so another question is about obviously scar repair. My scar is incredible. My incision is so thin, so nice, and it's healing really well. To help it heal nicely, I have been given this serum here. It's called Biocorneum, and basically it's called Advanced Scar Supervision. So it's, a lot of people have been telling me to get silicone sheets. This is pretty much its liquid form, so it's like a gel. You spread it over the scar and it dries and sets kind of like a sheet of silicone over the scar, which helps it heal nice and flat, fade away, and protect it from the sun as well. And yeah, so I've actually seen Angelina Jolie uses that scar serum when I was looking around online at it, so I'm really excited to start using that. I can't start using it until the scab has fallen off and the scar is healed enough to start putting it on there. Yeah, so another question is regarding my belly button. Do they keep the old one, or do I have a fully new one, and what does it look like? I have the cutest little belly button. I'm so happy. Dr. Begovic does amazing belly buttons. So in most cases they keep the old belly button. What they do is they cut around it in the skin, and then they cut a new hole for it in your new abdomen. Dr. Begovic has a really specialised technique that makes her super cute, way cuter than anyone else's, and she also kind of dunked the top of it, which gave me that little line above my belly button for a kind of fake six-pack thing. So hopefully if I eventually ever get six-pack abs, it's going to look totally awesome. But yeah, so I have a very cute belly button. It is my old one, sewn into a new hole in my skin essentially. Fun fact that I didn't know, I've actually got a slightly outy belly button. I always thought it was an innie, but I suppose I couldn't really see it under all the skin. I'm very excited to be able to see it again. Speaking of belly buttons, obviously it's the umbilical cord, and that will segue nicely into my next question, which is surrounding tummy tucks and childbirth. I get so many questions surrounding tummy tucks and childbirth. When I first decided to get the tummy tuck, I got a lot of people saying, you know, you should wait until you've had children because they're going to ruin it and stuff like that. But the reason for me wanting the tummy tuck was because of the medical reasons. So I was getting rashes and sores and sweaty and having to tuck it into all my clothes and stuff like that, and it was really unpleasant. I'm 21, so I don't plan on having children for another 7 or 8 years, and there's no way that I was prepared to live with that for that long. It was never going to happen. So the tummy tuck will not affect childbirth. So the scar, as you've probably seen photos by now, is super low, so any expansion of my belly is gonna, you know, just do the usual pregnancy belly thing. The scar is right across the top of my pubic area, so it is super low and it won't affect it at all. Obviously the only danger is that I am going to possibly get excess skin on my tummy again, resulting in me possibly needing another tummy tuck. Not that I know if I would get one again. It's been the best decision that I've made so far, but obviously there are limits to how many times you want to have them. So yeah, the tummy tuck will not affect me having children at all. Everything will go normally. I had someone comment on one of my photos that they had a tummy tuck and now they're having a child. She said it just felt a bit tight across the scar and that was pretty much it, but it doesn't cause any complications or anything like that. Okay, so a tummy tuck cost breakdown. I get asked about the cost of it all the time and why I chose to go to the USA. I chose to come to the USA because I was really, really lucky. An article about me went a little bit crazy online and Dr. Begovic picked it up and read the story. She then approached me on my Facebook page and offered to donate a tummy tuck to me. I covered the cost of the anesthesia and the OR, but her service was completely donated, which was phenomenal. You know, I'm 21 years old. Obviously I was so lucky that my followers wanted to donate to me as well, in the respect that I virtually, you know, I wouldn't have been able to pay for it at all. I would have had to get out a loan. You know, that amount of money is a huge amount of money for me. So I was really lucky that she donated the surgery, which is why I came over here. Back in New Zealand it would have cost around $24,000 for me to get the same surgery, and it's sort of been less than 20,000 New Zealand dollars for me to fly over to America, you know, get the best of the best. Dr. Begovic was voted best in Beverly Hills 2013 and 2014, and I wouldn't be surprised if she gets it again this year because she's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, she's double board certified, studied at Harvard and UCLA, so I'm seriously was in the best of the best hands, and I was, you know, just, I still can't even, I'm still on cloud 9 about it all. And that's why I chose to come over to the US. So that did affect the price a little bit, obviously. Dr. Begovic's services were worth $8,000 US. And I paid $4,750 US for the OR and the anesthesia. So, you know, that's still cheaper than the price it would be in New Zealand. After factoring in 3,500 New Zealand dollars for 31 days of accommodation, 1,800 for my flights. I also ended up paying for Will's flights because I really wanted my partner to come over with me. I couldn't have done it without him. He took me to the bathroom, he cleaned my feet, all sorts of stuff. So if you are flying overseas, you need someone to come with you. You can't do it alone. They have to be there. And then I paid $400 US as well for a heart test. Somewhere in my medical history, I don't know when because I was not aware of this. Apparently I have a slight heart murmur, but after getting it checked out by several different places over here, that isn't so. I don't have one, so it was obviously just, you know, an abnormal day or something like that. I was told it's nothing to worry about, and that sometimes some doctors just pop it down after hearing maybe a slightly irregular heartbeat, but I don't have one. So I did have to pay for that one, and then I also spent a further sort of just over $400 US on prescription medication. I think mine was a little bit more costly. I ended up with an injection instead of a pill for blood clots. So most places will give you something to prevent blood clots happening in your legs post-surgery. Obviously you're spending a lot of time lying down and stuff like that, so just helps thin out the blood and make sure you don't get any blood clots. And yeah, I got a few other things as well. So all up it was around 14,000 New Zealand dollars for surgery, flights and accommodation. Obviously that doesn't factor in spending money over here or anything like that. So probably all up has probably been around, with the crappy exchange rate, it's probably been around, you know, 18,000, which is still $6,000 less that I've had to pay. And I've come over here and had amazing healthcare, an amazing time in LA, and just recovering in a beautiful place. So that was the cost and why I went to USA. Another question is, would I come back for further surgeries? I do need further surgeries. And I really would love to come back and go to Dr. Begovic again because she's just absolutely fantastic and I can't put a price on her service. And yeah, so I'd definitely come back. Obviously money is a huge factor. As I said, I'm 21. I'm going through life. I need a new car. I've had the same car since I was 15. You know, going on 7 years now, and I really need a new car. My nana keeps texting me telling me I need to get a new one because my granddad is always fixing it for me. So that has to come, unfortunately, before any more surgeries. Otherwise I will be left without transport. And yeah, so I mean, the other surgeries that I want done, I want to get, very next, I really want my arms and armpits done. The skin under my arm is probably the one that I'm most self-conscious about after my tummy. You know, I can't wear singlets because I don't want to put my arms up because I have this, you know, this sagging bit of loose skin on both sides, which is a combination of loose underarm skin and back skin that's kind of come forward. So I want to get rid of that and be able to wear singlets and be able to put my arms up if I want to, you know. That's the very next one, and obviously at the same time they'll probably do my arms. You can see how much excess skin I have on my arms. I also need to get my inner thighs done. I have a crazy amount that just, you know, sits there under my thighs as well. And also my back needs doing. So as I've mentioned, my back skin kind of sinks forward and creates those rolls around my stomach. I also have the need to get my boobs done. Those are the last thing on the list. I can live with them not looking so hot, but definitely the arms and the thighs are something that I really want done, so they will be next on the menu of procedures. I can probably also live with my back not being done. That doesn't bother me too much. I still, after my amazing tummy tuck, I still feel like, you know, in a few months time after some training I could totally rock a bikini, and that's a huge thing. I've never ever worn a bikini after being big my whole life. This is the smallest I've ever been in my adult life. Weight loss in future. So someone also asked me about managing my weight loss in future. I am pretty much done losing weight, so I'm just maintaining now. I will continue to eat the way I do, because, you know, that's a habit I've formed for life and something that is important to me, to continue to eat the way that I do, because there's no way if I went back to eating how I used to that I would keep the weight off. So to lose weight permanently and keep it off, you have to make changes for life. So I don't plan to lose too much more in future, maybe, you know, another 5 kilos or something like that. I'm happy, I'm healthy, and you know, I love my body, and the reason that I started this was to be healthy, and, you know, I'm finally there. I'm really healthy. I've obviously got still a few problems with my knees and hips and stuff like that, but that, you know, is a small thing on the scale of where I used to be. So yeah, the gist of it all is that I'm really happy with myself, and if I do lose any more weight it won't be too much, but I'm just happy plodding along where I'm at. So if you do have any more questions about my tummy tuck, please leave them in the comments below or on my Facebook page. I make a huge effort to get back to every single question that's asked. Messages I reply to as well, so if you do have any questions, just give me a comment or something like that. I will get back to you. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative. I hope anyone who is thinking of getting a tummy tuck is not scared by it. You know, there is a time where surgery is the only option. I was at the point where I couldn't get rid of the skin. It was never going to bounce back, and surgery was the only option. I have impeccable diet and impeccable exercise. So, you know, I'd done all that I could, and surgery was the next step. If you're at that stage, I so encourage you to do it if you think it's going to be beneficial for you. Even just have a non-obligational, I don't even know if that's a word, consult with a plastic surgeon to talk about it. It's seriously been the best thing that I've ever done, and if you think it'll work for you, then seriously go ahead and work towards getting one done. Thanks everyone!